problem.
How are you protecting the students?
Well, what we want to do is create a program for them, right? I think at the end of the day, for us, especially myself being a former college athlete, you know, with NIL, you know, it's a lot of capital. Guys, kids are making a lot of money, but we need to create a system to protect that money, right? Not everyone has the ability and fortune to play in the NFL or the MLB or the NBA. So those that might not make it to that level, how can we set them up for their future? Because, you know, most jobs when you get out of college, 50, 75 grand entry level, a lot of these kids are making six figures. So I think we need to set up a situation for them where they are protected, capital-wise, and understand, hey, in the real world, you might not be making the same much money you do switching schools, but this is how you start off. And if you keep working hard each and every day, you have potential to be a CEO or whatever you're aspired to be. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys very much. You know? Hey, one last thing. What's your name? You fly over here?
Canada's Tristan Thompson, a former player in the National Basketball Association, was at the White House. Now, look, not only would he make the rounds, okay, inside the White House and what have you, he also teamed up with JD Vance, and he looked rather elated that he was able to post a photo on Snapchat with the Vice President of the United States, who also at one point launched a campaign ad starting with, and I quote, "Do you hate Mexicans? Are you a racist?" Good stuff. So Thompson did the usual song and dance that Republicans do these days.
We're banning transgender athletes in 2028. Do you think that's the right decision?
Ban transgender athletes, yeah. I think for me as a father, and I think it's more so, you know, for me as a father, and I have daughters and nieces, you know, I think it's a man's genetic makeup is totally different, and I understand, you know, how you identify, but me as a competitor, it wouldn't be fair for me to go play in the WNBA. That wouldn't be fair because these amazing young athletes have worked blood, sweat, and tears to get to where they want to get to. And it wouldn't be fair for me to jump in their sport. So I think, you know, obviously it's very controversial, but you know, for me as a parent, I would love for my daughter, if she wanted to be an Olympic athlete, to compete with others that were born very similar to the way she was. But I understand both sides. But you know, that's what I feel.
Obviously, completely missing the point. Okay, one doesn't just jump in to the WNBA. It's really A to Z, and they're doing it like it's A to B. Yeah, I mean, if Floyd Mayweather wants to compete in the women's division, all he has to say is he's a woman. Come on, man. How freaking stupid are you? This is so dumb. It's so unbelievably dumb. I can't believe that people think like this. And in turn, I can't believe that many are just allowed to say this unopposed. This is not the reality of the situation. No one just says they're a man or says they're a woman and then they compete. That's not how it's done. That's not how it's been done. But that's what Tristan Thompson says. But don't worry though, okay? Because Rupert Murdoch's media arm that is solely responsible for the brainwashing of millions of Americans. Millions. It's a reason why his own media companies are banned in some countries. They called Tristan Thompson a star. A star. Come on, dude. Come on. LeBron James is a star. SGA is a star. Ann Edwards is a star. Tristan Thompson is not a star. He's not a scrub, but he's not a star. He's like a okay guy that you could bring off the bench, or if you spent all your money in other areas, can be a lower end 5. I mean, does a star average 8 and 8? Nah. In what world? Who wrote this, man? What AI software did you guys use? It's remarkable. Like we see here we go. So we see this stuff way too much in media where they say star, legend. Neither of those words can be associated with, I would say, 80+% of the athletes that some outlets like to write of, including in this instance. Like they would call like the 11th guy on a team a star. If Giannis Antetokounmpo's brother, all right, came out as a diehard Trump supporter, Fox News would call Thanasis Milwaukee Bucks champion and legend. Like you know it's true. This is a huge problem. Huge problem with media literacy. I'm going to put my water bottle down. Huge problem with media literacy. And also those that are putting forth graphics like this. Would a star who averaged 8-8 over a career, would you consider that person a star if they were all second rookie team, I believe he was? Like, his star was the brightest when he was a McDonald's All-American. There could be an argument. There could be an argument that he was more relevant when he won the title with the Cavs, mainly because of LeBron and Kyrie hitting a ridiculous shot. Star? What are we doing? So he would, politically speaking, go on Katie Miller's show and state, what President Trump is doing, first of all, I love what he's done so far for our country. I think he's helped our country a lot in terms of where he stands with, I think, I'm a firm believer because I have family members and I have people that are immigrants. I believe for those that do the right thing, that do the thing the right way rather and get the papers, I think they should be taken care of first and foremost. I think that's the right thing. I think that's the right way of going about it. We always see this mouth dribble from conservatives and even libs who say the right way. The right way. We got to do it the right way. All right. There are many arguments to be had when someone states something like this. But let me ask you a question. If there is war, bloodshed, mass violence, someone is fleeing that country with their family, their friends, extended family, etc. And they are trying to do it the right way while being in a very pressing situation. And what they want most of all is to live their life happily without the threat of violence, without their kids being abducted and sold into whatever underground market one can think of. And they come here and they're trying to do it the right way. And in doing it the right way, this year and last year, they get thrown in detention camps. And what the Trump administration will do is say, they didn't do this, this, and that. Oh, but we're seeking asylum. That is a right. No, it's not. Not with us. We changed it. We don't think asylum is a right. So if someone does it the right way in that sense, people like Tristan Thompson really do believe that, there was a better way. It's the moving of the goalposts. I despise it. The reason I show respect for people like that is because they are fleeing a terrible situation that they never signed up for. We are lucky to be born in certain places where we are afforded and allotted a sense, or at least a degree of comfort and peace. Many of us who were born in this country hit the jackpot in comparison to others, but maybe fell short also in comparison to others. Why should I, as a white dude, not speak up for someone from Somalia or from Honduras? Why? Like, it's just, this is something that I truly think is such a lost art. Empathy. Doing it the right way. This guy was a basketball star. He'll downplay it. He's more than welcome to. He did it the right way by having a gift. A God-given gift of being 7 feet tall and good at basketball. Come on. He's comparing it to his situation. Come on. It's incomparable. I despise stuff like this, and you should too. He would continue. I think it should be case by case on the right people. Again, what is the right people? What I find to be hilarious about all of this is that he is saying, I wonder what he would say to a simple follow-up, like, how do you choose the right people? And then if he were to say, well, anyone who's been accused of a crime, let's say for this example, it's a misdemeanor. And I'm not trying to straw man this, but like people can be accused of stuff they didn't do. Yeah, this person stole food from a bakery because their family was hungry in a poor country. They shouldn't be allowed in. Okay. Stealing food for their poor family, you're supporting a guy who is charged with assaulting a woman, sexually assaulting a woman. On top of this, you are in support of a guy who is unabashedly not releasing the Epstein list. A guy who has said that he's gone into the Miss Teen USA dressing rooms. A guy who has been accused of SA by 20 plus women. Come on. Come on. This rhetoric is so tiresome. Here's the thing, though. We should have seen Tristan Thompson's Trump support a long time ago.
My teammates have started noticing this. They ask questions now, and guys are like, do I get more XRP? Do I buy more ETH? So like literally guys are texting me and then like in a group chat saying like, yo, it's pumping. Yeah, what should I do? I'm like, hold it. Long term, guys. Think long. The same way you bet on yourself to get to the NBA, you got to bet on these coins and bet on the space. Bet on what the future of digital finance is. Bet on that's what's going to be our kids. That's the form of it. They're not going to be walking into these banks and these institutions. They're going to be literally having their wallets and being on a computer and literally managing their finance like this.
Because he is a humongous fan of cryptocurrency. And again, he flat out glazed the president in a sit down with Bo Hines, the executive director of the White House Digital Assets Council. I reiterate, at the White House. So while many aren't pleased, what I would say to you and to others, specifically though Fox News, is I thought it was about shut up and dribble. I thought you guys didn't want athletes speaking out, but once more, it's not that you don't want athletes speaking out, it's that you want athletes agreeing to you and bending the knee. That is what they want. Here on this side, you could say what you want. We're going to fact check it, but I'm not saying that you should be stripped of your voice. They are. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.